Hello, friends. I hope you're all doing well. So, there's just something that I would like to share with you, something that I picked up also recently. For those of you who know me, or maybe you don't know this about me, or maybe you've noticed, all throughout my life, sometimes I would come across something, whether it be I hear about it, I read about it, I watch it, I watch something, and then it hits me, and it stays with me for practically the rest of my life, because all throughout my life, this nugget of wisdom or that would in different situations come and visit me, and then I get to recall them and they help me out. So there. So recently I I stumbled on something. So I was just listening to this video, um and then at one point this wise lady said that something about relationships. Now she said that relationships hurt. Okay, we all know that anyway. Especially strong relationships, strong ties with people who are in our lives, as opposed to people who are just occasionally in and out of our lives. So there. So at one point or the other, you would find that you have different opinions, and then sometimes you argue, and sometimes you want to get your point across and the other person too, something like that. And sometimes it could be stressful. So there. So anyway, let me just continue what she said before I rant on about it. So there. She said relationships hurt, but if you come out of this pain, or after something like synthesizing this pain, and you come out and you realize that you're a better person, and hopefully that's how the other person feels too, which is ideally how it is, then this is how you can consider this a good relationship that is worth sticking to, something like that, as opposed to relationships that hurt, and then you're just stagnating with a person, you're not growing as individuals, something like that. Okay, growing up, I was in this bubble of illusion that when I would be in relationships, and at that time I was thinking of romantic relationships, but actually now that I'm all grown, it involves all kinds of relationships. So there, I was just in this illusion that, the less the arguments, the better. Which, of course, if you have a lot of things in common with the other person, and you really click, well, that's another thing, compatibility. Okay, so there. But you will always have your levels of individuality. So there. And sometimes what would stick in our minds is that if we have arguments, they're not a good thing to have in a relationship. But actually, that is how you grow. That is how you incorporate yourself into the relationship with another person, and that is how another person incorporates themselves also into that relationship with you. um just for an example, just my relationship with my son, it's I consider it the best relationship that I have in my life right now. But of course, he's already a teen, and I don't want to say this putting the blame on him right away because he's a teen, and you know how teens are. No, no, not like that. But but he has his own opinions also. So sometimes we have differing opinions, and sometimes we discuss them, and then sometimes we discuss them, you know, in a way that you would like your point to get across to the other person, and that is how the other person would want to come across also. So there. um but what I can say is that some of the most enlightening conversations that we have are actually after an argument. and we're not really afraid of saying what we think, saying what we feel. At the same time also, we have all of this, a lot of moments when we are nice to each other, when we're very understanding and, accommodating of each other too. So there. So I don't know how you would I don't know how this would apply to your relationships, but this has really struck me in a very beautiful sense. Okay, so again, relationships hurt, but if you come out of that painful circumstance or that painful time, and you grow as individuals, then these are still relationships that are worth sticking to. Okay, as opposed to relationships that stagnate and you're just going in circles, and you feel that you're being eaten up inside already. So there, so that is when I think um we try to find other remedies. Well, for example, if it's a marriage or anything like that, but I wouldn't want to go into the intricacies of relationships. I just hope that after watching this video, just as I have, you would pick something useful in this. Okay, so there. So meanwhile, enjoy your relationships. Stay blessed, stay well, and God bless you all. This is just me, Alvie, saying find your strength, find your peace, and stay with God, whatever you conceive Him to be. He loves you so much, and that's one of the best relationships you can have too. Okay, so there. Okay, just a postscript. I just remember that I just kept on telling my son, you can feel whatever you want, and you can say whatever you want, and the things that you cannot say to me, you can tell the Lord. Tell the Lord without having to be afraid that He would scold you. The Lord, the spiritual realm, Jesus, they've been the closest relationship that I've kept all throughout my life, and I've always been authentic. And I think that is where real relationships come from. You know, just there. I hope this makes sense to you guys. So, until next time, take care. Bye.